Welcome to season 3, episode 19 of the D Hoop University podcast. This is your boy Darrell Harris, also known as the Hoopster, here with I'm gonna pull a Stephen A. Smith, man. This is a near and dear friend of mine. You know what I'm saying? I've known this brother since he was a young pup. You know what I'm saying? Since he was a $150.
Hey, real talk.
since he had the transport backpack.
Oh,
No, I'm playing, man. I'm roasting. I'm joking. Marvin Bragg, man, basketball player at the collegiate level. He still give you mad buckets. Coach now currently. I'm gonna let you give some more background on yourself, but man, we went to high school together. We were high school teammates. We had a little Twin Tower era.
dude.
What's up, Marv? What's good, bro?
What's good,
Welcome
baby?
to the
How you
pod,
feeling?
man. Welcome to class, bro.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, bro. Definitely love what you got going on, man. People just, tap in, man, 'cause this is like real, genuine content. And just tap in for like show support. Like it's gonna get better. Like he has ideas and visions, and like he wants to put out. So as long as you guys are supporting him, like he gonna drop that good content. But now you right, man. $150 wet, JanSport backpack until we got the Nike Elites. Like long, and this is like long overdue, but it's also perfect timing because like it's a story to be told from both sides. So like, hey, I'm happy to be here, bro. Number 19 is dope. That's dope, bro. So keep crunching the videos, bro, and pods.
Yeah, man. Season 3 began right around Christmas.
Okay.
And to give some backstory of the pod for TikTok live stream, that's what it is right now. And for any listener, this might be your first episode listening, welcome. But D Hoop University, man, you can read the bio, but it's a culture. College nostalgia is a real thing. College is a time to, grow, learn, and it's when you kind of have the most company you'll ever have, like, outside of the public school era. But I applied that to basketball because we talk hoops on here, and I like to talk about what it is you've seen, what it is you've played. I approach commentary and analysis from a player's perspective. I uploaded a recent video showing some of my old film because it's a lot of people that talk and critique hoops who didn't play a lick.
Right.
Or if they did play, they weren't worth nothing.
right.
And that's not the basis for how I approach this element, whether it's writing now professionally or giving feedback on the casual. That's where all my opinions sort of come off of. And where this season began, I called it the rebuttal season 3, episode 2, because everybody was bashing hoops, man. They were bashing the NBA, saying, ratings down. It's a flopper fest. It's a wine fest, loan management, the referees ruining it, the gambling's ruining it. And what I said on the rebuttal is, if you got all that to say, if you just want to repeat these complaints, you're not watching, because the game is fine. Yes, there's flaws. It's flaws in every era of basketball.
Right.
Y'all want to romanticize and live in the past like that was a perfect game as well, when it wasn't. Yeah, I meant to make a note so I can go back and research some more, but they don't talk about the help defense rule during Jordan's era. That'll go over a lot of people's heads. The fact that certain defenders couldn't cross the midline.
Right. Don't get me started, bro.
So I'm just saying, man, like there's eras to all of it. This era that we're in right now, lineups are 6, 7 and up.
Right.
There's more running than ever before. The wear and tear on the body is different because of that. So you can critique it all you want. This is the current game. If you want to improve it, it's not just by complaining. And most of the times I feel like the ones complaining aren't watching anyway. So go sit down somewhere. Tune in the playoffs like you normally do and be uninformed as to what's going on. Like, damn, I didn't know OKC was that nice. Yeah, because
Right.
you've been watching Instagram for 9 months and they're only recycling retired players who want to, still talk about themselves, and y'all not paying attention, man. But That's what we do on here, man. And Marv, we got you because, bro, you've lived it. You've lived it now, and I haven't really got the summary, so I'm excited to get it, to hear it, to know a little bit more about your college journey. But I'll let you sort of take it from there, man.
Yeah, so like I'll even start like into like high school, like my senior year, that like junior year to senior year summer. That's when the school that I went to, American University, offered me, and like I'm like the first person in my family to play Division I sports, and really like people that I grew up with, like nobody really played Division. Like I had a cousin before me that went Division I, but he was only a year older, so like it was freshly new to him as well. I really had nobody to like kind of put me through the process of how it goes, of how coaches reach out to you, show interest. Because when I got that offer, schools that were interested, like they all backed off, and I thought that was really weird. I didn't understand that. I'm like, what is it? But then with American, like I signed early in November because I just wanted to focus on my senior year in high school, which was I think one of my best decisions because I think I had a really good senior year. And I believe if I wasn't committed, I would have probably been stressing and pressing in
Yeah,
games.
all the
Like
noise.
I have to do it. Like it just came naturally, and I was putting up numbers. But going to American, looking back at it, like one of the best decisions that I made. I mean, it's a Washington D.C. Division I school. Last time I checked, it was like a top 100 academic school in the country. Numbers probably have changed, but like last time I checked, that's where it was at. So going into it, I was just excited. I had some family that lived out in like the Maryland area, so like going out there, it wasn't like I was by myself. But going out there, like dope experience. My freshman year was good. I got to play a lot because our team was very young. Our best player at the time was just a sophomore. So like we had a lot of young guys. Before we got in there, 8 people had transferred out or graduated. So it was like a lot of spots open. So our original freshman class was 8 people. Like that was like my class was 8 of them. Only 3 of us graduated from American once we got done. But no, it was good. My freshman year, started a lot of games, really figuring out the pace. Like I feel like as you get into more high level basketball, the basketball in a sense is the same. I mean, of course, coaching and principles change. Talent is different, but like the pacing of it is like the biggest. Like when we hear like the greats talk about how the game slows down. Oh, like once I got to like my junior senior year, like the game slowed down tremendously. But like my first 2 years, it was like so fast. I'm trying to like keep up, keep up. Um, but freshman year, like, I think I had a pretty good freshman year. Um, with me, like coming out of high school, I knew that I wasn't going to be the guy. So my thing was like fill a role, and a lot of what I did doesn't show up in the stat sheet, and it never will. Like I impacted the game more than what a stat would say, and my teammates knew that, like for sure. As far as like leadership, communicating, just being in the right spot, knowing what I'm doing at all. Like I knew all 5 positions on what we should be doing. Like defensively, I knew what we all should be doing. Like so, therefore, if somebody messed something up, I can say, "Yo, you was late," or "I did this because you didn't do that." So therefore, like all of our communication is like it's fluid. We know, okay, next time I'll be there. I got your back. Just go automatically. I will be there. Just believe me. So then going to my sophomore year, my freshman year, I had a concussion. I was out for 2 weeks. Came back. Got back into the rotation. My sophomore year, similar thing. Had a concussion again. Minutes kind of trundled a little bit, but like starting off my sophomore year, like, and I think it's my best game of my collegiate career, like statistically, was a home opener against George Mason. And in college, a lot of times like they're like paid games where teams will play us to pay them, to fundraise
Yeah.
for our department. So that was one of them, and we ended up beating them in overtime. Um, and we were down 90-94. I remember this vividly, 90-94. Our point guard throws a skip pass, skip pass, throws a skip pass. I banged the three to put us down one. And then our point guard, after that, we go and get a stop. Our point guard come out, he gets an and one, put this up 1-2, and then, the rest is history. But that's like my best game. I had 16 points, I believe 6 rebounds, 5 assists, however that was. But like, that was like my best game. I'm thinking like, yo, like we about to traject and, take off. Like, I'm like that was like my coming out party. Like, I'm here. Now the season went on, it didn't happen that way, but it's all good, like things happen. Come back from my junior year, I stayed over in the summertime from my sophomore to junior summer, and I was working, getting back in shape. I worked really hard, but then like my junior year in one of our scrimmages we had, I ended up like rolling my ankle and my knee buckled, so I ended up like partially tearing my meniscus, and like I never recovered from that. Mentally, for one, like that kind of really messed me up mentally. I'm like, damn, I put all this work, and then this happened, and then just like I could never really get back into the rotation. Then COVID happened, so I stayed home for that like year and a half, and then I was fortunate enough to like go back for my grad year. And I was in more of like a leadership role, like an OG, like how like Udonis Haslam was on the Heat for his last year, like I was with the like I was with the young guys, just giving them
Yeah,
game.
you weren't there you wasn't there selfishly like,
Yeah,
I need to do
like
whatever I
COVID
can
happened,
right now. It's like,
like
look, man,
yeah,
I got some eyes on a degree, on another degree, sort of. You more mature, wise part of the ecosystem, and happy to give back to it. I feel it, man. Hey, for one, bro, oh, this 100%, bro. I'm super proud of you, man.
I appreciate it, appreciate it.
Super proud of you. No matter what any of that say, man. Know that you made your family proud. You made your folks proud. I hope you made yourself proud. I'm sure you did,
Absolutely,
because ain't
yeah,
nobody do it for you. You had to make that happen. And I got to experience, college ball at the D1 level too, as a manager for the Running Rebels. I
right,
just told you what happened with that
yeah,
situation. I
yeah, yeah,
literally might have blew my leg out the night before my first practice with the team. Long story short, but you do realize that, yeah, you know what? All 15 of us here, we're capable, in our head, we're sort of that guy.
right,
And we now have to see where we fall in the pecking order, just kind of sink or swim. And injuries happen, fights happen, transfers happen. No year really is like the same. My 3 years being a manager, three different head coaches,
mm,
quite literally. And players come and go. Jonathan Kaminga's big brother, Joel and Tomboy, was at the program. Folks that went from here to the Big 12, to the Pac 12, the whole nine, the whole
right,
nine. Got to see it. Part of conference tournaments and trying to crack, and everybody is really nobody wants the season to end. It's an extension of a high school vibe almost. But it's at that stage now where Jaden Hardy's big brother, Amari, was on that team, and Jaden would come in and work with his dad in our gym, and I'm working out with Amari, getting extra reps, and just working out with these boys. Like, hey, look, man, I'm here. Let's get it.
right,
It's a dope time, man. It's a dope time, and we played together through high school, which for me, I'm coming up on 10. This is 10 years since my was class of 2015. 10 years since, high school graduation. And we had ourselves a squad in what was my senior year,
yeah,
your sophomore year.
yeah,
You were already on varsity, already literally a starter. And I was hoping to lead by example in more ways than, like you said, what shows in the box score. And it's funny because in some of that, I underestimated the player that I was based off of not having an offer, based off of being a team player, maybe mentally, and seeing some teammates get certain levels of success. And we were very close. That's what made us different.
hmm
We weren't jealous of each other. We weren't selfish. And that's sort of what allowed us to succeed. But I didn't think I was that, deep. What's also different, tell me how you felt about this in terms of the regional game, because that Southern California talent pool, we are CIF Southern Section, Gar High School, Cerritos, California. And that Southern California basketball scene is saturated. Saturated. It's easy to feel like you're in an ocean because there's 7 different divisions, tiers to the divisions, open division, and real ones come out of that CIF Southern section every single year. Once I sort of got out of that bubble, I was like, man, wait a second, bro. Like, nah, I feel like I'm kind of like that. Like,
right,
I just realized I've been playing against the same network of folks who are legit.
Right, right,
Whereas somebody might have made it out of whatever town they're from, and whatever that talent pool was like, you thought you were the man. That confidence level might have let you be the man more than you really were as a player. The game is so mental. It's timing based. It's you kind of got to strike, you know, magic sometimes for everything to really align. And that's why it's a salute to the ones that do because it's hard, bro. It is, 300 or so jobs in the NBA
right,
at any given moment. So there's other outlets to play professionally, but it's not all or nothing if you don't get there. It's really a combination of elements that sort of get there. And even just succeeding in college, making year two, making year three, year four, overcoming adversity is an accomplishment.
right, right. Absolutely. Pretty. I want to kind of go back on what you're saying a little bit as far as like the selflessness that we had because how you felt in high school, like I felt that way in college, of like I know I can do more, but it's also like what does the team need? Because me like I've all like and I learned that through that year. Like that year, I wish, like, I really wish that we would have won it because of the group that we were, like, and that would have showcased it even more. Like, we were literally a selfless group, and it's hard to do when everybody wants to eat. Like, we all were very capable of putting up 15 to 20 points a night, like all of us, like from 1 to 8 to 9. Like, we kind of like around that 9 bubble, so we were very capable. But some nights it might not have been our night. Like it might have been this person or that person. Now you got to be selfless and understand. Okay, how can we put the team first? Because like that's what we did. And that's how we got so far. So like I want to commend you because like it's not an easy thing to do when you're in the mix, knowing that I can do more. Like, and we know you
Yeah.
can do more because like you see, like every day we saw, you know.
Yeah. No, and let's stay there for a little bit because boy, do we have a story for y'all, man. We
Oh
have
no,
to revisit. It's like we said, we had a squad. We
yeah,
were no chump. We far furthest thing from it.
yeah. We faded
And
everybody too. Everybody caught like yeah,
I think we were 9-1 in league that year, and that
yes,
one was a fluke.
yeah. Actually, no, no, no.
And
We actually I looked it up. We were actually 10-0. We were actually
did
ten
we
and zero.
smoke league that
We
year?
smoked lead that year. Yeah, nobody was messing with us. I looked back and I wanted to, look back and see. Yeah,
We
we were
were
10-0. Yeah, and nobody was messing with us. Non-league
we were the
schedule was
real we were
popping.
the real we were the real deal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And playoff run, first like 3 playoff games weren't even
20
close.
balls. 20 balls.
Hey,
Yeah.
that round 1 might have been like a 45 piece.
It was so crazy. We was running through teams early on, for sure.
And, we had a banger semi-final game, which I think got us really mentally ready for the championship because we had to do it on the road. We had to beat a higher seed. We had to the gym wasn't big enough to hold us. They
So they
had to
moved to
put
a
it at
new
a
gym.
neutral
Talk
site,
about it. Talk about it.
but it was down the street from them. It
Right.
was funny. That was up by my mom's house at the
Oh,
time. That was
really?
up towards there. It was literally 10 so minutes past the house. That was our neck of the
Yeah,
woods.
I got family that pulled up that lived out in the IE area that came to the game. It was
Yeah,
like a 15, 20 minute drive for them. Yeah.
legit. And that game was a classic. Man, I
Yeah.
think Greg had like 30 something that game. You might have low key
Crazy.
saved us, but it was a team. That was we were bought in. It didn't
All right.
matter. It didn't matter if
Yep.
Jeremy had 25. We had twins that went deep, that went crazy. They're in the top 5 scoring of the university that they went to.
Yes,
Shout
sir.
out to Jeremy and Greg. Y'all know who they
Yeah.
are probably.
Yep. Yep.
And it didn't matter if it was them, didn't matter if it was yo night, didn't matter if I was rolling one night, didn't matter if Malik came off and finished the game, didn't matter if Evan finished the game, Justin
Justin.
finished the
Yeah.
game.
Right.
Like we were interchangeable. We were pressing the full court. Mind you, the twins I'm talking about are 5'7", if that. 5'8", if I'm being generous as possible. They were listed
Right.
at 5'11" on Max Preps. Cap.
Yo. Tell them my twins, bro.
Yo, I know those my dogs, man. All day, all day. They're D Hoop University alums. They got student IDs here. But we pressed, man. We put up 90 to 100
Yeah.
that whole playoff run. And we make the championship game, right? We make the championship game. We play in this funny name school, Sonora, and didn't know too much about them, right? So let's just get into this game a little bit. We just watched the highlights. Y'all could do it. I'll link it maybe in the bio or whatever. Where do we begin?
I mean, I would say going into it, like. going into it, I mean, everybody of course felt like they're gonna win, but like I legit felt that like we were the better team. I did, like just upon because how
We had belief. We
yes,
believed in ourselves. We were
yes,
bought in. Shout out to Coach
yes,
Roper for
yes,
the
yes.
handful of us that played or were a part of collegiate programs. He didn't he ran that program straight, you know,
No, for sure. Yeah, like
and treated it like a college program. It was no nonsense. We were watching film. We were working out. We were freaking going hard. So
yeah,
we had a reason to be confident because now we got to the championship game. Clearly,
right,
what we've been doing is
right,
working.
right.
It's clearly
Yeah,
working, and we weren't projected to be that, you know, something like that. And at
right,
this
right.
point now, we got the school behind us, bro.
Yeah,
We playing at the
cracking.
Honda Center,
Mind
and
you, mind you, the semifinal game. Remember, they bust kids out to the game.
yep,
They bust people out to the game because, like you said, the school is now like, and I like
come on,
that.
y'all, let's do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, let's do it.
And we were all
Yeah,
likable, all
yeah,
knew a bunch. And then the Honda Center, same deal. I remember that morning. It was like four or five or six school buses that
yep,
loaded up to go out to the Honda
yep,
Center on a Saturday morning.
yep.
And we get there. We were the first game of the day, but that is what it is. You know, it's division.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's 15 divisions and freaking whatever.
I
You
think they
know,
were
that
like
had
D3A
championship
at
games.
that time, I believe.
Yeah,
I think
D3 AA.
right, something like that.
Um,
Yeah.
and we get into the game, you know, starting lineups. We had a good first quarter. We feeling
Right.
good. I hit a three, you hit a three, Justin hit a couple
He
threes.
was rolling. Right.
We
We
playing our
rocking.
game.
Right.
We
Right.
playing our game 100%. And I don't even want to pull the actual scores up. But fast forward, we go into halftime up like what, 6, 7, 8?
Nah, I think
Not even.
let's just say five because I really don't remember. But I don't
Okay,
know. I don't
right.
know if it was that much, but I think it was
We
like
went
maybe
in the
five,
half with
six.
the lead. Went in the
Yeah. Yeah.
half with the lead, you know, and job's not done either way, you know.
Right.
Constructive halftime conversation. All right, stick to the script. It's not over with. You know, we need
Right.
another 16 out of
Right.
everybody. And third quarter, it's getting tight. Like you said, it wasn't a big lead because
Right.
now it's,
Right.
you know, it's
Yeah.
sort of, and it's getting crunch time. The other side
Yes.
of the gym waking up, more
Yep.
teams trickling in.
Yep.
It's being broadcasted the whole nine. So, okay, the stakes are sort of getting up there. And it also felt different. We in a much bigger arena.
I was gonna get to that. I was gonna get to that. But go continue.
That is a factor. That's 100% a
Yes.
factor. And the team,
Yes.
to give context to the team we had, you know, they might have been a little bigger than us,
Yeah.
size wise,
Yeah.
just a little bit. They, you know, kind of savvy as well. Contrasting styles for sure. They weren't a team that played the same style that we did.
Right.
Fourth quarter, we just rewatched the highlights. Both of us, we both, you know, had some fast break layups. Uh, we were up 6 or, you know,
I think it
7
was
or
eight.
so.
I think it was eight. Yeah. I think it was eight.
We were up like 8 with
Talk about it. Look, get into it.
with like 5, 6 minutes left, and this is so cold, man. If you go pull up the press telegram video, the commentary team is like, "Gar up 8, things looking good," and then nothing was the same. And this is 2015, bro. Drake literally dropped "Nothing Was the Same" in like 2014.
uh,
Like he said, then nothing was the same. The game ends on a 22-3 run. We
crazy.
went, we went,
That just sounds
we
crazy.
we went scoreless for about
Yeah.
3 minutes of gameplay. There wasn't a timeout in that span.
Well, there was.
It was a little late.
Well, because let's get into it. So like we up eight, right? And I know me and one of the twins. This is my perspective of what happened. Me and one of the twins are in the game, and it was a jump ball that happened. And I believe at the time, like Roper had maybe like one or two timeout. I think he had one, and he didn't call it. Which like I get, like me playing and now coaching, like I get why he didn't call it. I do get that. I get why. Like I need one in the back pocket. If it's a close game, I can burn one. Whether we're
Right.
offensive, defense, like I get that. So I
Right.
understand
I got to
why.
save these to the last minute or two.
Right, because we're in a championship game. Like I'm not
100%.
trying to be like last minute, like you know, like so I get that. But it was like they're on a run. It was like no dead balls, and I believe you. I thought it was you, one of the twins at the table, and he was trying to get you guys. It was you and Malik trying to get you guys back
Me
in.
and Malik,
You
for
guys can
sure.
never get back in as they're on this run with no dead ball. So I mean, looking at it now, if I was playing, I would have took a foul. the dead ball to get you guys in the game. But I didn't know that back then, 10 years ago. I'm not thinking that. But I don't take a foul. Like somebody foul, stop the bleeding, bring you guys in fresh bodies, But yeah, like just think about that 10 years ago. Like you blow a eight, like
It happened so quick though because, bro, we felt solid. Because really, I think they might have called the timeout even because like we had those bang bang, both of us in transition, and we're like, look, man, 5, 6 minutes, bro.
we're
We just
there.
gotta.
Yeah, just hold
Like
on.
we're
Yeah,
almost like we are there. We're not thinking that we're gonna lose this
yeah,
at
at all.
all.
22 to
And
three? No.
we've
Yeah,
been there
yeah,
multiple times. Like we
yeah.
this isn't happening right now. There's no way.
Right,
And legitimately, I'm like, everybody could look like everybody could like feel like they did something, man. Because long story short, we lost the game. That was the outcome. The other team running and jumping on the court, other team fans, and we had to go and try and hold our heads up in that locker room, bro. Bro, that was very emotional. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't that was not it at all. But we all like you were saying, we can kind of look inward and be like, damn, what could I have done differently?
right.
Or if I did this or if I did that or anything like that. And who knows, man? What I always think about is that if we had won that championship game, I think we would have went to open division or Division 1 for state.
Nah, I don't think we've
And
jumped that high.
it, who
Back,
knows? Who
yeah.
knows?
Okay, you're right. You're right. Okay, yeah,
I don't think Sonora was in our bracket for state, which, like you said, it might have not meant we would have went
yeah.
D1 or went
Right.
open.
Yeah.
But this is the same year as Lonzo Ball and Jello at Chino Hills.
Yeah. Right.
Like,
Right.
I want to say Aaron Gordon might have been in high school up north.
Yeah.
Like, this
Hoopers.
is a
Hoopers.
interesting time.
Stanley
Chemezi Mets,
Johnson is still in high school.
bro, Chemezi
Chemezi
Metsu,
Two is in high school. Yes. Like.
like,
Yeah.
it was that off the top, just off the top of
There's
that
probably some other
time,
ones
that
in
point
there.
in
Yeah,
time.
that we can't
Right,
think of. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And the platform just I know would have been different, right? Like,
Right.
the next we just wanted to keep going so badly. And we
Right.
still did, but we wanted to really bookend that with the trophy, and that was
Right.
the one that got away, man.
It
That was
was.
the one it really was, man. It's okay now,
Yeah.
10 years removed. If we won that game, are our lives dramatically different? We'll never know.
Unfortunately, we won't. But the crazy part about it, right, is like two things. Like, this is like what I was told after the game. Like, when we're up eight, they're in the stands asking our parents like our ring sizes. Like, the people that do the rings were convinced that we were gonna win the game. Like, I don't know.
I never heard that.
I kid you not, bro. Like,
I don't doubt you. I
yeah.
don't.
So I'm like literally after the game, I was
And
told this
I was
right after.
blacked out, bro. I was in a bro. I went home and watched some Attitude Era wrestling the rest of the day.
Damn.
Like in a shell, like hurt for real. And so I don't recall much of what did happen. Like I think I might have been in there like, yo, can we get this over? You know me, bro. I'm super calm and collected, bro. Like everybody's good. Everybody relax. Like, no, man. That one wasn't nothing sweet about it.
Bro, I
So I don't
literally
doubt it.
like after that game, I didn't watch it for a whole year. Like I'm not joking. It took me a year.
And the perspectives are completely different. Like I know you still have so much to look forward to. You're kind of
Right,
maybe
right.
like, all right, look, we for sure getting back, sort of probably
Yeah.
mindset.
Oh, yeah, I felt that way, and yeah, it was difficult. Like my junior year, we had got ran out the gym our first year. Teams play these 2 3s, bro. It's corny to me. I get it. I do get it, but I think it's very corny because like, you're saying that you can't guard us, which I respect. Because our offense, how we had it when Roper had us, and like he got better every year. Like if
That's
you
the
had,
team that's what you, Tony was
um,
freaking.
it was Evan, Justin. Like it was
Oh,
we didn't have as much size,
Yeah,
but our
yeah. I
guard
remember.
play was there. We had Scooter, like our guard
Yeah,
play was there, but the size wasn't.
yeah.
So
I remember now. Yeah,
so then that, yeah, and then like my senior year, this is like these rules in high school. This is what messed us up because my senior year is when the rule was when we go off your past 2 years. So mind you, we go to second round of state my sophomore year, and then we were what in D2, D2 my my my,
Yeah, we
my
that
junior
picked
year.
us up.
So now I'm
Yeah.
in D1A my senior year. Like what?
Ooh, yeah, yeah,
Right, and we
yeah.
should probably be in like D2, D3, but it's cool, you know.
Right, right. No,
You
man, we
know,
were just we were a regular neighborhood, and this is going to sort of transition us into what you're doing now. What I want to talk about because they don't care about
right?
our high school glory days,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that was the one that got
yeah.
away.
It
This is
was, it was, yeah.
the 10-year anniversary, so it was really worth a reflection moment on the pod, and I appreciate having you here to do it with me. But to bring that sort of to the current, because yeah, I'm almost even losing it, sort of the transition I had, but
I don't know if you wanted to get into the either the way of like how it is now as far as recruiting kids, because I know we were mentioning it as far as like I know like these coaches, which I appreciate me getting in that window like right before of like how these coaches are now wanting to get like that like the transfer rule, right?
that,
How
yeah,
that changed. Yeah.
oh, the piece that I was trying to that it just came to me.
Uh huh.
Shout out to Riverside because I left that big pause so that way it could catch it. It's gonna chop this up for me, and I
Okay.
kind of know
Cool.
right when it come back on the back end. Just that you won't hear nothing. It's gonna be fluid. The team that we had was organic. We weren't bussing kids in. I might have changed my address, but I did
Right.
from third grade on. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Because my
Right.
mom wanted to move back far, and I used
Right.
my granny address from the rest of my schooling days. But we
Right.
weren't, we didn't have holdbacks. We didn't have transfers coming in, and this is so and so from Lakewood, and he about to come do this over here. Like, no, we were a bunch of local kids. A lot of folks knew each other from middle schools and high schools. Like, we were just a
Right.
regular group at a regular public school that bought in and had great chemistry, and we reached our ceiling. We really
Right.
did max out.
Right. Right.
Current landscape, I want you to talk about it as I get some more water. Is that the same? Because I have a springboard that I want to walk out on and jump off of and talk about the domino effect of some of what I'm hearing and seeing and want to highlight about the NIL era, if you will, and how that has had a domino effect onto recruiting and how that may or may not influence just younger athletes' hopes and feeling towards athletics in general.
Right.
But let me hear you sort of get into that because if we didn't say that up the top, but you're currently, getting some experience as I'll let you go ahead.
Right. Yeah. So it's uh it's been interesting because like how this has changed drastically. Um, as far as like the recruiting process is so different. Like it's very different because of NIL. So like myself, like I got out in 2017 from a public school going Division 1, right? Like it's very possible. I'm a living proof of that. Like it's very possible to do that. But now it's so much more difficult for these young men and women to get out of college. I mean, get out of high school and go right to college because these coaches now are looking for those kids who already know how to go to class, already know how to be in the weights, already know how to carry themselves, already know how to be a college athlete. Um, and then you add on the NIL, which when I was like, it didn't really get into play until like my grad year, which was like that 21 to 22 year. So I didn't really see any of that NIL money. But like
Hey,
now, like
you're a living testament of the transition.
yeah, so I've seen like I've seen the both of it like right before NIL, and NIL's been around like illegally. Like we know people were getting paid under the table to go to schools, but like now it's legal, Um, but yeah, so like now
Talk
seeing
about it.
that, so now seeing that it's like it makes it difficult. It's interesting because like I do feel like these young men, should get paid, and women should get paid, because I remember vividly, right? This is when Zion was at Duke and they were playing UNC at Madison Square Garden. And I forgot
Ooh.
what page it was, Instagram, but they put a side by side of the UNC versus Duke average ticket price versus the Knicks. Shout out the Knicks who is in the West East Conference Finals now. But the average game of the Duke UNC game costs more than the average New York Knicks game. And them Duke kids, UNC kids saw none of that money. It went to the school, coaches, whatever. Which, it's cool. But like these kids are profiting and bringing all this revenue, and they weren't seeing it. Like just like I'm kind of going off, but I'm gonna get back. Like Jameis Winston, right? He's the number one quarterback in the nation, and he got to steal food from the grocery store because the man's hungry. Like what kind of what is that? Like how is this not a thing where
What
we're
is that?
yeah, like how are we not able to feed? Now they went into, having meal plans, unlimited food plans for kids at school, right? So now getting back to NIL, like yes, the young men and women should get paid, but then also it takes away from like the actual game itself because it's like, are you going to hoop to like how we went to guard to build something, build a culture, build a program
Love of
up,
the
and try
game.
to win, right? Or you going to go get a bag. Like
Yeah,
you see kids go to school one year and then leave the next. So like it's kind of harder for coaches to build. I mean, I coach a college season, um, and it's like it's hard for coaches to build a program when a kid. If you're like at a lower mid major, right, you might lose him.
himself.
Right, you may lose him because he's hooping to a high major school. Which I mean, you want kids to do that, but it's like like it's difficult. It's very difficult just to like keep it short.
And yeah, we've talked about on that. We've talked about some of that on here a good deal, and how we think conference realignment needs to change, and how it's not fair that a St. Peter's or St. Was it St. Peter who made the tournament this year? I'm blanking on the school because I had never really knew about them until St. Francis. St.
Mm.
Francis this year,
Oh
you make the
yeah,
tournament
and
and
then your program.
reclassify to Division 3 because you realize as a program, the executives and department directors are like, look, we don't stand a chance. We just had our best season ever and lost
Right,
everybody.
right,
The coach, the manager, we want to talk about Aura dude from whatever school he was at, out of here.
right.
And Robert Morris, I think it was. And those are some examples. Now, talk about where the athletes in high school are at in their approach to the game right now. Does it feel the same as to maybe
No,
when we were in high school?
no, nowhere close. It's nowhere close. I just think like and it's a good thing and a bad thing. Like media, right? Like when even after you guys graduated, like you had media at like big tournaments. Like we put at Pack Shores at Redondo to open up the year. We had media
Yeah.
there tweeting out.
Local newspaper, a few college, maybe
But I'm saying,
somebody,
yeah,
but
like it's media. That
it's worthwhile.
right, like they're gonna be there, right? When you're at Torrey Pines, like these are like big
San
tournaments,
Diego,
right? But I'm saying like
Springs, right.
I'm about to put it like it got to the point where they're pulling up to like fall league, and spring league games, right? So like I'm saying, like it was more of a privilege to have this type of stuff where you had media coming out. Where now it's just like an everyday thing, so you really don't necessarily have to work. I feel like as hard because everything is right there for you. Like
And you
imagine if
can't
I
differentiate. Like we kind of knew when the atmosphere was, oh nah,
different,
this
right,
one kind of matters. When now it's like bro's dad might just be trying to clip him for Instagram, or somebody's got a
right,
trainer telling him to do this and that, and he's worried about his own video. It's not necessarily you see media, you see cameras, you see signs, and like we saw like Ball is Life. Ball of Life
right,
was there. Yo,
right.
this is
It's
up. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
yeah. But think about it. But they're there for like regular season games. They're not just there for a fall league or a spring league game. And I'm talking about like local public schools like us. Of course, the private schools with those high talent. Yes, I'm talking about the low public schools, right? Like they're not just pulling up like that. So like now it's so different because like kids don't have to like these kids aren't as hungry. I know me personally, I could have probably worked even harder than what I did, but I put a substantial amount of work in to get where I got to. Right, like going Division 1, going to any level of college basketball, college athletics. Period is not easy. You have to make a lot of sacrifices. So anybody that done it wherever you did it, D1, 2, 3, NAIA, like JUCO, like you guys are putting a lot of work. So like, be proud of yourselves.
Yeah, it's earned.
It's earned regardless. So like, they just don't have that hunger throughout. Like we were hungry, whether we thought that we were going to go to NBA or not. Like we put the work in. Like, and it's just across the board. And then it goes into also, and it trickles in because travel ball is so watered down. Like everybody has a team. Like at least when we were playing, like those games meant something. Nowadays, you play a game, it don't really mean nothing. Like so, that has felt like has watered down. And this is just me, coming from college basketball to youth sports, like seeing that, and it's like it's just not there at the public school level like it used to be. Like, cause public school I feel like was cracking.
Yeah, no, it was legit, and I referee now. I'm
Okay.
refereeing this weekend, and like now I'm in Vegas, so I
Hmm.
catch the summer circuits,
Okay.
and I've ref the little kids,
Hmm.
I've ref the dunkers, and that boy's a unit. Where y'all from? The whole nine, and I see the skill. So I don't know. I guess maybe I'm in a question zone of like, is it a say the generation ahead of us that says Steph Curry, air quote, ruined the game,
Okay.
or James Harden, or the traveling, or whatever whatever folks want to say, maybe have taken some elements of how they maybe preferred it away, or even to what we're saying of they're not demonstrating the same energy or the same sort of maybe passion or hunger. What do you think? And you did just answer some of that, so you
Hmm.
don't have to
That's
repeat
cool. Yeah.
yourself. But like, do you think that's from trying to recreate what they see currently, or because I try to also throw benefit of the doubt of like, look, it's evolution. Things are going to the game is different now. The game is stretched out now. It
Right.
is
Right.
for better or worse,
Right.
analytic heavy or not fundamentally focused.
Right.
For
Right.
sure. What do you like? Did they talk about maybe what they're what they're going after, or what matters? Do they care after a loss? Like, I don't know. I guess just
It's.
maybe
I'll give you a quick spill. Like, I would say because I don't
share some of what your
like
recent
did a,
season was,
right,
because you
right,
helped that Bellflower High School team out a lot.
right, right. I would say like it is different because like you have to process what you're watching. I feel like at our age, being post high school, post collegiate careers, like we're able to process the game differently than when you're in it.
That
So
was
like,
should. I see you should.
so like we know what we're watching. We know, okay, like the momentum, the feel of the game. Like the kids nowadays don't have the feel. All, it kind of goes into them not playing enough. Like us growing up playing in parks, like that's not really as popping anymore. Just going open runs in general, like playing outside of like AAU and high school basketball, right? But kind of going into what like yeah, like the kid, like I enjoyed my year with these young men, and they know that, right? And I brought a level of it was like a standard that I had because it's like you guys say that you want to get here, and I got here, I got there from a public school. So like it's very possible, but the amount of work that you have to put in every
Yeah,
single
I
day.
don't want to hear the excuses. I'm not the
Right,
guy.
right. Because it's like you say, like I asked them at the beginning of the year, what are our goals? Our goal is to win league and win CIF. Okay, so if that's your goals, I'm gonna hold you to the standard because I've been on a team when we went 10-0 in one league, and I've been on a team where I went 9-1 my senior year in one league. I've been on a team where we went to CIF finals and lost, and I've been on a team where I got bounced the first round. So it's like you either want to do this or you don't, and I'm not trying to hear that because I put in a lot of work when times I didn't want to do. I could have put in way more, but I put in enough work to get me there. So the work that you guys are doing right now, you complain about running and all this other stuff, is like I'm not trying to hear that, bro. Right? Um, but it's just about the level of care. Like I feel like we cared like a lot more. Um, the level of care I would say is not there as it should, or maybe like they're not expressing it in the right way. I would say.
Yeah, I like a part of what you said is sticking with me in regards to the playground element. Like, we might have developed, and generations ahead of us for sure, our parents' generations for sure, we developed a real deal love for playing, period, possibly, in a different way. Like, I don't know, man. I don't think that the middle school have 15 people playing one game, playing with one ball, a game of
Football,
21, like
right?
they probably were
In
in
your
middle
school fit.
school.
my school fits would be so messed up, bro. I call her
because
mom would be mad. Man, what were you doing today? I was hooping. Polo
and
button all messed up. Like, yeah.
we didn't immediately associate some of the glitz and glamour, jewelry,
Right.
social media, like we didn't, as we developed that love for playing, that's more so what it was. And that fueled a desire for success with it more so versus now. And this is when I try to specify it's not the current kid's fault
Not at
entirely.
all.
You
It's
haven't you
not.
haven't
It's
said
not.
that either.
Yeah, it's
Right.
not. It's not at all. I'm not blaming them. Yeah.
Is the current era where everything is we didn't grow up in this era.
Right.
Our parents didn't grow up in this era. They can't
Right.
speak on it. We
Right.
can we can give our commentary and our feedback, but they are living it. And it's not necessarily exactly like it's not their fault
Right.
that all they know is to sort of see and make these immediate connections with this. And at the same time, the little things are just sort of, it's getting off balance and where we're losing perspective as to why we're doing it. I think we don't even have to take it much further than that on that, but that's some of what I wanted to hear because people love to talk and don't be a part of it. So, like, whether it's
Right.
me refereeing or you coaching, like, I joke with these little kids, man. Like, some kid had on last summer when I was refereeing, some, like, 8, 9, 10-year-old, third grader probably, had on some Weatherman KD4s. I was like, hey,
I
I said, hey, bro,
don't
you
know
don't know
about
nothing
them.
about that. You don't know nothing about them.
What with the
You don't
cargos and the elite socks? Hey,
You don't
man.
know nothing about Nike ID. Like,
Oh man.
shout out to you, but
Yeah.
just on a unk status, old head,
You're
whatever you want to
right.
call it, messing with the kids now. Like, hey man, you don't know what you know about
What you
those,
know
bro.
about them? What you know about those?
It's different. It's it's
Right.
it's apples to oranges in some elements, but when you are a part of it still,
Right. Right.
you can speak on it more and observe it more, and it's not just on the porch back in my day. It's not that because you now have a role in influencing what the product is. Like I'm at the free throw line, like it's a tough block charge call. I'll be like, hey yo, I wanted to give you that, but you didn't commit. My guy,
Right.
like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta protect the player or just every now and then after the whistle, I'll give them a little feedback or that when I'm with the older kids and they wanna, yo, what did I do? Like, I'm gonna tell you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So just on the fly with it, or after that, hey, good stuff, bro. You know what I'm
Right. Right.
saying? But salute, man, because it's one thing for folks to talk about it, it's another to go in and be a part of it. I got my little man's, and youth sports is something that I'll be neck deep in
Right.
no time. So I definitely want to be a part of it, and in a positive, beneficial way. And like you said too, going way back to the beginning of the conversation, and this is gas, bro, but some of that I didn't have, a real hands-on guide through my high school graduation recruitment stage. I had my mom and
Right.
what coaches were saying, and you tune coaches
Right.
out at some points.
Right.
But same, like we can only imagine some of the game that we'll be able to pass down and how much more set up for success the ones that we have influence over if they want to pursue that. So how we can help guide and get them there and what might be
Absolutely.
possible.
But yeah, and I want to make it clear, like I do feel like these kids do care. I just feel like it's different. Like it's different, and they don't know. But they do have access. Like I tell these kids, like if you want to just go on a work, even I do this myself. Like if you want to find a workout, just go on TikTok. Like you can type in whatever basketball dribbling workout or shooting or layup. Like
Yeah,
it's enough.
no
It's
no
enough.
equipment workout, right.
Right, like it's enough content. So like, there's no reason why you shouldn't be doing something. Like when they say 1% better, you can get 1% better. If you go on TikTok, use 20 minutes. It ain't got to be a whole hour. 20 minutes. Go out there outside in your driveway and just do something because it's there for you. Like we all use TikTok or Instagram or YouTube in some capacity, and it's stuff on there for you to use. I think they care. I think it's just different. Like these kids are different, and it's not for the bad. Cause like we said,
That's every generation.
yeah, they told us the same,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, nah, it was I think youth
The
basketball.
circle of basketball. the
Right.
circle look like?
And they're like our future, like hopefully, we have people who, in the game are better than our LeBrons and our KDs and our Stephs coming through the league. We have the young talent like Halliburton and Tatum and Ant Edwards and Wemby. Like we have it. I hope that kids behind them come in and, still like evolve the game because the game has evolved. However you want to put it, for better or for worse, it has evolved. Talent is at a sky high. I say this all the time, and people hate it, but like the average role player now is better than the average role player back in the 80s and 90s, and they hate to say that, but it's the truth. Like the average role player is better, like as far as basketball, like skill and ability. So it's evolving. It's harder to get on the team, it's hard to stay on the team because everybody can do everything. Um,
No,
but
you're
yeah,
not gonna
no.
get pushback. You're not gonna get pushback from me with that.
Yeah, so but yeah, nah, like I
Let,
think
let's
we're
let's bring it let's bring it current, man, and that's probably where we'll wrap this thing up. But
okay.
where we reached the conference finals, Starkey, what's up, man? What's going on? Why you growling? You heard that?
Yeah.
The conference finals are here. I'm feeling a little. So I had to go on record, man. I got the chance to do some TV this past weekend, man.
I seen that, bro. Congrats to you, bro. Congrats. Yep. That's big time.
Wild, bro. Wild, man. And I sort of went on record saying that, hey, I've noticed that my content that I've been making in season 3 is real Anthony Edwards heavy. I don't think I've talked about one person more or made more content about one person more, and it's not intentionally, but he's definitely like my new favorite player in the league.
Likewise. Same.
And
Yeah.
man, I went on. I sent that take out to the universe. That look, I think it's Minnesota. I think it's Minnesota because they can go big. They can play Randall. They can play Gobert. They can play McDaniels. They can play Nas Reed next to Ant. Ant can go point guard. Conley can go point, and we big everywhere else. They can go small. They can go Randall at the 5. They can go Nas Reed to where it's 5 out, and we can not jeopardize perimeter defense or toughness. And it really comes back to Ant. Playoffs are a guard's game. The bigs can still dominate, take over, but the guards who are cut for it like that always shine if they're like that, at
Right.
this
Right.
time of the game, or the ball's in their hands at least. That game 7 got a lot of people who, like I said at the very beginning of this pod, weren't paying attention all season. They now realize how good that this Oklahoma City team was. I wrote about them
Right.
for NBA.com, my second or third story. And the narrative has upheld my question about them because I pushed back on them going all the way on a youthful element. Just saying, I think it takes multiple cracks for most teams, especially to win it all. It
Mm-hmm.
takes multiple cracks. You don't go get it. There's no precedent outside of slightly that Toronto team with Kawhi Leonard, who had a
Right.
championship leader leading them. You don't just go get it. It takes cracks. Even the first Golden State team, that wasn't their first trip go around in the playoffs.
Right.
I feel as though Minnesota's ready based off of being that close last year, and they didn't. And we're realizing now that Karl Anthony Towns trade wasn't a one sided trade. It was
Right.
really a win. It was really a win win
Hey.
trade.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
You fall on the West before we talk about the East.
I don't even want to. Okay. I'm gonna keep it here
It
because
was my MVP. Shea was my MVP because I said if he doesn't get it, another guard's never going to get it. What do you want? 30 plus every night, plays every night, plays defense. Team is barely ever losing. So I
right.
was twofold. I was on both sides of the fence with OKC. I said Shea deserves it. I said he deserved it last year. Him and Luca.
Yes, yes. That's where I'm at because I feel like, and we'll get back to the center, but I feel like last year was his time because this year, I mean, I know they just lost, but Jokic's numbers are out of this world. So it's like if you're gonna pass up on this, it's hard. But that's another topic for another day because that. But I'm with you on the Ant Edwards thing. After he beat my Lakers, I mean. I was just like, this dude is different. But he is the engine because you see, when he is going, they go. and not even statistically, just like his demeanor, his attitude, his dog. Like everybody feeds off of that. You see Gobert, you see Randall, you see McDaniels, Nikhil Alexander, even DiVincenzo is like, so you see it, and
Mike know he got one. Mike Conley
right,
know he got one for
right.
sure.
So it's like that versus OKC, who's been rolling this entire season. Like, and I had them in an aspect of how the Cavs finished out, how they got bumped. Like I didn't think that OKC was gonna go this far because of that youth aspect, but they're kind of kicking that to the side and like, nah, bro, like we can really hoop, like so it's kind of like but in my what I really want, I want it to be the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the New York Knicks because we're gonna get, mind you, the whole trade thing. I'm not even thinking about the trade. It's gonna be gritty from both sides. It's gonna be like I feel like these playoffs has probably been some of the most physicality that we've seen in a minute. The referees are letting them play maybe a little bit too much, but they're letting them bang each other up and get gritty. And I know that Knicks and that T Wolf series will give us what we want to see, like the grittiness, the toughness. Both teams have great pieces, great guards, coached well, and like it's gonna be cracking. So I would love to see Minnesota in the finals. I really would, and I want them to win the whole thing, per se. I feel like Ant Edwards, even though he said he don't want to be the face, he is like it's his time to like shine, you know?
Well, we need a domestic face of the league,
Right.
and I don't want to say that Jalen Brunson can be that, or whoever
Tatum.
else, or that Halliburton. I mean, stop it, bro, because I've been bigging Tatum up on here, and I didn't even
Yeah. I mean, no, I'm just saying, like,
get a point because
yeah,
nobody says it, bro.
yeah,
I
right,
feel like I be talking to a wall sometimes when I'm like, look,
yeah,
man, y'all weren't include, and I said it on here. I said, look, he might not win it, but we should be talking about Tatum for MVP. In case in point, he got hurt. How did you feel about that team after he got hurt? Yeah,
right,
he did everything.
right,
He's a tremendous freaking all around player who just shows up and does the work. And now we can sort of acknowledge that when we lose, you don't know how, you had a good thing until you lose it.
right.
So it is what it is. He'll be
Yeah,
back.
he will. Yeah,
But right, I was pushing. I said, Tatum, bro, you go back to back, get your Finals MVP this year. They're talking about you different.
right.
I
Because
hate
they
that it sort of didn't happen, and we don't root for the Celtics,
no at all, but like out of
but you
respect,
couldn't
yeah,
hate. Yeah, you
yeah,
couldn't start
yeah.
hating on the player.
Right, right. Out of
So
respect, and I low key feel like it may have stemmed from the whole Team USA thing because of them not playing him. And like it's like he just came off a championship, trying to push him to be the face, and it's like that kind of pushed it back because he got something in the rug. I mean, he's behind LeBron and KD. People say they should have played him. I feel like what they did was best for the team, and as far as everybody roles and making sure everybody was comfortable out there. But I feel like he is one, and I feel like Anthony Edwards. It should be him and Ant. And I feel like Ant has it because of the personality. Like he don't care. He gonna speak his mind. He gonna talk his talk. And Tatum maybe is a little more reserved, which is fine. But yeah, I feel like we should give Tatum a little. And this coming from a Lakers fan, like he should get more love. Um, but I think Ant's that guy. Ant's the
I
guy.
found it. I'm glad I found it, and I'm glad
Uh,
that you made the reference to the international game because that undoubtedly is a factor in the
right.
success that Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is seeing, the confidence level that Anthony Edwards has now,
Oh, big time.
and
Yeah.
of course those Boston guys, and even Halliburton. He
right.
was on that team. He was a
Right.
part of that team,
Yep.
and he even got a couple meaningful minutes in the last game. He
I
got
forgot
promoted.
about that. He was on that team.
He took his end of the bench role like a champ.
right.
He sure did. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
I'm glad that you mentioned that because let me get this on record, and I got it right here. I searched it because I remember live tweeting watching
Uh,
the FIBA World Cup summer
uh,
of 2023, now 2 years ago.
uh,
Night two of hashtag FIBA World Cup Team USA and a few. I just said, screw it. Let me start live tweeting. I might have been betting on it. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? I might have
right.
been slightly degenerate, middle of the night, watching games in Turkey or wherever they was at.
Right.
Hey,
Right.
easy on me, right?
Right.
This was season one of the podcast.
Oh, okay. So
You
you was
feel me?
early. You was early.
I was grinding. You feel me?
right. Right.
Observations from last night. This is the real tweet. August 30th, 2023. Observations from last night. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander looked like a 99 overall against Latvia. Incredible stuff. The last came to play too, but couldn't hold up the second half. RJ might have went 0 for 4, whatever, no dork. But that case in point, I saw it that summer. I said, yo, this brother,
Different.
he is saucing on these fools, man. Like bing bop boom for
About
real.
damn.
I, tw- I tweeted during game 7. I said, yo, it's 10 minutes left in the third quarter. Too soon to call it a dagger?
Man,
Because I think they went up 25 or something with a timeout after he shimmy ya on somebody at the top of the key 3. Mm. It's very real. Again, I paid attention to this Oklahoma City team all season. Jalen Williams deserves his flowers. The All-Stars, plural,
yeah.
stepped up
Because
for
they were
them.
talking about him as a second option, and he's proved them wrong. Yeah, they talked about it. Yeah,
Bro's a real
yeah,
model for a lot of people to try and really actually mimic their games after because he's another testament. He's not a 1% physical specimen. Bro's like 6'6". You feel
right,
me? But
right,
I'm gonna go out there. He's such an IQ to defend pretty much all 5 levels and continually have worked on his game to be a 3-level scorer now, playmaker, cutter, spot up shooter. Like
right.
he's very, 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 very legit. Chet and Hardenstein, I might take Gobert, Nas,
Randall
Randall
combination.
over Chet and Hardenstein
I'm
right
not
now.
mad at that. I'm not mad.
And we'll see if that does decide it. But I think every championship team needs a good veteran that hasn't got it done yet. And I see that in Rudy and Mike Conley
Yes, yeah,
paired up with, the youngins that's going to really actually get them there. So I just think that Minnesota has all the pieces, and I don't think that will be satisfied at all with their season ending in the conference finals again.
right.
So,
But then on the OKC side, I'm gonna just sneak this in there. Like they do have Caruso, who
right,
did win a ship
champion,
with Bron, right? So like they have a guy, who's been there and knows what it takes. I don't know if he makes
willing to do whatever.
right. I don't know if that like impacted them and plunged them to how great they are. I thought they were gonna be this good. I think regardless with or without Caruso, but he's helped them a lot. I don't know if, like on the call, I don't know about as far like their mental to get them over the hump mentally. But I'm with you. Like it's gonna come down. I feel like to the bigs, like being consistent. Like we see Randall, he's a hooper. Like in New York to now, I low key like him now with the T Wolves. Like he get to his spots, and is able to like really make stuff happen. We
Yeah,
know
no,
what.
Karl Anthony Towns wasn't getting the triple double for them last
Yeah,
year. He
not
wasn't.
for them, but like with the Knicks, he's
Right,
doing a great job. Like
right, right,
it
right.
yeah, like and I thought that it was a one sided trade. I agree with you, but like it benefited both teams
Yeah,
tremendously, and
they're
it
not
panned out
missing
perfectly.
Towns right now.
Right, and they're not missing
It would be
Randall.
poetic for them to reach the finals, making this transition to the East.
Hmm.
It's a movement happening in Indiana when it comes to basketball because that means we're talking Fever and we're talking Pacers. We
You're
might
on,
not
you're onto something.
we might recognize it in hindsight, but they might be emerging as, a little darling or America's sweetheart city type of situation. I've been to Indianapolis too. It's a dope city.
What is okay? Cool,
I'm
cool,
not
cool.
mad. I'm not mad at Indianapolis.
Okay,
Yeah, I
okay,
got to go to a conference out there before. It's a nice city. They got culture.
okay,
Shout out to Pat McAfee.
okay.
Well deep. And you rarely say that about a playoff team and mean it. You know what I mean? New York, it'd be fantastic for it. So I'm not rooting. There's no loser. We've seen the graphics. All of these champions will be first time champions in decades or their first
Yep.
ever.
Right.
So we're in for something special. Eh, New York, man, knock on wood always, but somebody roll an ankle, somebody pop a hammy, somebody get a tech, somebody get elbowed in the mouth, somebody get in foul trouble a couple of games. Cough, cough, Karl Anthony Towns.
Right.
and I think Indiana is just gonna hoop those boys out of there. So I
Wait,
do
you
kind
think
of.
that Indiana about to beat the Knicks? Then I'm not mad because Indiana has proven us what wrong twice. And if you look at it, like beating the Bucks, I had the Bucks winning, me personally, and then I had the Cavs beating them as well. So I'm not mad at that.
We talked about chopping
Dang.
wood.
Okay.
They were conference finals last year, and I had my boy Terrell Emerson on here. He's editor in chief for Talk That Talk. Me and him have been locked in since UNLV, and he covers everything professionally as well. And he's a Pacers fan, but he's from Inglewood. He went to Crenshaw, not Crenshaw. He went to Westchester, um, Cerritos College. He's my dog for real now. He's a Pacer fan for whatever
Okay.
reason. Shout out to
Mhm.
him. This ain't hate. If Terrell, if you listening,
Right.
this ain't hate. I had him on here a couple episodes back, and I was like, "Talk to me about your Pacers, bro. Round one, y'all got Milwaukee again. I don't want you to downplay them because I know you're gonna be like, look, man, I don't want to get my hopes up. No, talk about your boys. What needs to happen? In the
Right.
videos on my TikTok right now, and he put it perfectly. He said, man, the Pacers, man, they need the perfect storm. Not going to say that they can't do it, but they need a lot of things to go their way. They need to not see Boston, is what he said first and foremost. I said, hey, I said, if you, again, knock on wood, if something happened, that could, we saw what happened in round one. They still took care of business, though. They were the better team than Milwaukee on the court for that
Right.
series.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And they caught a Cleveland that wasn't in stride. They didn't
Yeah.
look like
That
they,
was.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. That
But
was crazy.
it wasn't a fluke. What was that?
No,
5 games, or did it end up going six? Did it end up going six?
I
I
thought it
forgot.
was
Either way,
5. Yeah. It
right?
was
I think so
nasty.
too.
Yeah. It was.
Eh,
Yeah. Yeah. That was crazy.
They are operating. They kind of remind me of us back in the day, and I've said that they remind me of they're kind of running gun Phoenix Suns. 2 3.0
Right. Right.
in
Right.
terms of the point guard is going to get it to everybody,
Right.
and you have to respect everybody because they play with trust in each other, sort of, and in the system. And I just think that they have, if a couple things go left for New York, Indiana just will not go away for 4 quarters. So y'all have to
Mm,
really get them out of here. So I'm similarly pulling for New York because the narrative is great and the attention is great. And they say that about the Raiders out here in Vegas. We say the NFL is better when the Raiders are good. The NBA is better when the Knicks are relevant like this.
right.
So
Right.
as a fan, I'm not against it, but that is kind of where I'm leaning.
Would say because I kind of have like two like in a sense two rebuttals. I'm trying to pull up who the Knicks played so it can factor into okay cool this is okay. So like for me, I feel like matchups play a big piece. Like I feel like this year's first round matchups were so beautiful on both sides. Besides the OKC and Grizzlies series, everything else I feel like was like amazing, like beautiful.
Right.
I,
No,
I, I
it
loved I
wasn't
loved every matchup.
underdog. And yeah,
Right.
no, it was competitive.
Right. So me going into this is like with this whole Indiana thing, like they played the Bucks who, no Dame, right? You play the Cavs who show me like they were the old Atlanta Hawks who Bron sweep, or the old Toronto #1 seed who Bron come and sweep. Like that's what I'm not saying the Patriots are them, but like that's what I see. But then you go into the Knicks, like the Knicks went through Detroit, who was another young up and coming team, and then they beat the defending champs. It's like I don't think Indiana so far in the playoffs has seen a team like the Knicks, where the Knicks I feel like are very prepared because they beat a young team in with Detroit and they beat the defending champs. Like I feel like because Halliburton, great player, but he doesn't give me like an Ant Edward vibe or a Brunson or Shea, who like can go out there and really give you 30 every night right? No, I'm not saying he can't, but that's not his game. His game, he says, is get everybody involved. So my thing is like, this is all hypothetical, right? It may or may not happen, but what if your guys aren't hitting shots? Like, what is the next option? Because if Brunson, if he passing the ball and guys ain't hitting shots, he about to put his head down, get to his little mid range, and get to his business, right? If Ant Edwards passing the ball, like everybody, all these other star players, if your guys aren't doing the job, they can take over. Like his takeover is let me get 15 to 18 assists, which is great. That's just his playing style. It works for them. But now we in the now we in deeper
No,
into the
man, that
playoffs.
yeah,
Like I'm just
them
giving that
standing up,
perspective
I feel it.
of
Cause
like what
right,
if
no, them going through Detroit, for example, and as rowdy as their fans were, and as physical as those games were, and
right.
the chippiness of it, Indiana has sort of they have sort of gotten they've been dealt a favorable hand.
Right. And I'm not blaming them. Like they took care of business as they should. But the path, no, it just ain't the same.
Yeah, New York wouldn't beat a healthy Boston twice, and we're probably going to get them out of here.
Right.
So I'm with you, bro. I won't do that to New York, man.
Yeah.
I want to say it because my boy talked about the perfect storm, and it's
Hey,
sort
I'm
of
not.
lining up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't want us to act. Everybody wants to be shocked. I'm like, look, if you've been watching, bro, some of the signs were there, but
Right. Right. So and
hopefully New York does go.
so all in all, at this to like, who do you think is gonna like win? Like, you think it's gonna be a Western Conference team, Eastern Conference team, or it matters who matches up with who?
Golden. If the Knicks go, they'll have so much support that it might be like destiny type of
Okay,
situation.
I feel that like they gotta win.
Yeah,
Okay.
and if not, Anthony Edwards is about to Grim Reaper these boys, and at the same time, the team that had the best record all season long, outside of that Cleveland undefeated start, being the Oklahoma City Thunder, they might just it's up for grabs. So this part is fun. I didn't really want this episode to be too, I'm on the record. Um, just because we got these won't be too long
Right.
series,
Right. Right. They are.
these
Yes.
won't
It'll be
these won't
gritty.
it's yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna have pivots and potential comebacks, and right now it's one game at a time. So let's see. I don't I have a hunch, but it won't be decided after game one.
No, not at all. Not at all. And my last thing that I'm like observing is like, cause like this is now the Timberwolves' second time getting there, right? Like, do you feel as if I think it's only one team window they may close, like as far as the window, like is it a
Mm.
Knicks situation where like it's a must win for the Knicks? Because if you don't do it now, like you're gonna have teams coming back the next year, right? It's like as far as for OKC, if they miss, OKC and Indiana, I felt like they may have an opportunity to get back there because they're young. You keep everybody together, keep everybody happy financially. Y'all can
But
run
who
it
has the
back,
most urgency right now?
right? Like who really has to win it right now? Because they don't win it. Like who do you think has to like get it done right now? Because I think like that matters.
For reputation's sake, Oklahoma City saved their image a whole lot by escaping that Denver series, and they caught some breaks as well.
Okay,
But it was really like, OKC, if y'all flame out right now, you will not be taken seriously
no more. Yeah,
going forward until you go and win the finals or something.
right, right,
But like they would have lost a lot of credibility if they didn't at least get to here.
right,
But I don't think that it's must win. I do think the pressure is higher on the two Western Conference teams just because of how the deck will be reloaded again next year with Golden State back in the mix, Houston back in the mix, San Antonio back in the mix, Memphis back in the mix, Phoenix, whatever they decide to do. Like,
Lakers hopefully.
of course, man,
Right,
the Clippers.
right. Another one. Yeah,
Like,
Dallas. Hello.
I think that those
Yeah,
two teams, that side has to recognize that, like, look, it is no time like the present. We can't smile after we lose game one like Shea did in Denver. And shout out to him because he smiled at the end of the series too. Like, look,
right,
man, we
right.
this is what we do. If it's good, it looks cool when it
Right,
works out. But
right,
I don't want to see no smiling in this series. I need to see toughness. And that's why I do side with Minnesota because there's more dog. And I'm not gonna say Caruso and J Dub and even Chet, some of these guys aren't tough,
right,
but I need to see like assertion of your will a bit more. I need to see somebody get a technical. I need to see a
Right.
coach get a technical. I need to see like, nah, BS. Like this will not happen on our watch type of
Right.
situation. And you know, even the Celtics, they knock Tatum for being soft or corny. That's the weirdest commentary
Right.
to me. People talking about like, what are you
Right.
talking about? He's a grown man. Like,
Right. Right.
um, even still, they got some of that energy behind them of like, look, I'm a passively talk my stuff, but
Right.
I do it every year.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
talking is really beneath me, but I'm gonna start. And they was doing all of this against, earlier in the year, and
Right.
Tatum started getting in the ref's face this year. I like that. Those are
Right.
things I do want to see. In the East, their foot might not be on the gas as much. That's a good point, though. That is a good point. Is who is going to show up hungrier, basically,
Right.
still.
Because your
And
window can close.
everybody's gonna say they are, but
Right. Because
that window ain't open.
'cause I saw a
Forever.
graphic like we've had a different champ. I forgot how far ago it was, but we had a different champion like every year. I think since when the Raptors won, I believe it was, or even though
Yeah,
the year
no,
before
no back to backs, no repeat since the
yeah,
Warriors.
right. So that's why I'm just curious because I know, like you said, for the West, they gotta press because a lot of teams are going to be coming out the West next year. The East is kind of like I thought it was Boston's. If he doesn't get hurt, I thought it was Boston's conference.
I did too. I did too. I
Like
thought they'd be back this year.
right. I thought it was their conference. They were the best team to bring everybody back. But it's
Yeah,
just something to think
we don't
about.
know what's going on with Philly and Orlando will be back, but like you start looking.
Right,
So
right,
some of these teams will be back,
right.
but
It's interesting to see. It's interesting to see.
nah, bro, we did the thing, man.
Definitely, man. This is great, bro. I definitely want to be back. 'Cause this is cool. Like I just like being in open spaces. Being able to just talk. I mean, we didn't want to really get in depth to things. We can at a later date.
This
Um,
won't be
but
the
de-
last.
oh no, for sure, definitely the first of many for sure. But I definitely, man, appreciate just coming on here, being able to chop it up. It's just like you're just chopping it up like old times, you know. Um,
Real
a
man.
lot of stories, bro. Like I said, definitely appreciate what you got going on. 'Cause I feel like it's like just real genuine, like media, I would say. Um, and we try to just keep it as real as we can, you know. Because like you say, some of us have played, some of us haven't. So like our experiences are going to be different. But just try to like keep it, consistent. I've learned just be real, when you're speaking, whether it's amongst your boys about sports, talking to other coaches about sports, just trying to be more real. When I was younger, I used to say whatever, Lakers gonna win every year. Nah, they ain't the real no more. Even though I want that to happen, that's not real. We have to really talk about sports.
Yeah, no, and
Cause
there's plenty to talk about than
right,
crying about whatever it is they on there talking about.
right,
And that's where we come from. We true to the game. We respect the game, and that does stand out. Hopefully, so I appreciate
right,
that,
right.
bro. And that's why I got you on here, man.
Nah,
You
most
hear him
deaf.
talking, you would think my man's is in his 30s. Like,
Yeah,
nah,
nah.
he's a mature,
Yeah.
he's very mature. You feel me, young man, bro.
Nah, for
Again, bro,
sure.
I'm proud of you. Proud to have
Nah,
you, man.
appreciate it.
And we
Appreciate
locked
it.
in still, bro.
Nah, for
That's what
sure.
this all that this was too. We definitely locked in.
Nah, for
I'm gonna
sure.
get you a welcome shirt. I'm gonna get you a student ID.
I need all that, baby. Yes,
You
sir.
feel me? A meal plan. Give us some time. The summer's coming up. A lot of staff got vacation. You feel me?
I might need that express. I gotta go.
It's just me, oos. Nah, first class, bro. First class. Top flight. Marvin Bragg, man. It's a pleasure to have you, Marv.
Sir,
Like, follow, subscribe. Don't be a stranger. Do your homework. Leave the show a review.
please.
Leave it, like, follow, engage, interact.
Yes.
That's your only homework. All right. Pass or fail.
Yeah.
Till next